Man, Marcellus, based on Cowboys' expectations, their season's over.
Really?
Based on what Mike McCarthy said just 2 months ago, September 1st, he said, we're in this to win a championship. Make no bones about it. Based on what Zeke said September 1st, I mean, this is probably the most talented team I've ever been on. Just look at the depth chart. Based on the Cowboys' expectations, their season is absolutely over because the Cowboys have 3 fundamental issues, and 2 of which cannot be fixed. They have a schematic issue based on their defensive coordinator, Mike Nolan. I'll get into why he shouldn't have a job here in a little bit.
Doing that already?
Just in a little bit. Give me some time. They have a talent issue. Just based on the roster, if you look on it, they don't have elite NFL talent where they need it. But lastly, they got a heart issue. And that's the one that kills me. Because they got dudes out there on defense, Marcellus, who just don't want it. This first block is going to be action-packed, and I'm going to come out here guns blazing. Odell Beckham makes a phenomenal play. He makes a phenomenal play.
The gadget play?
The reverse for the touchdown.
Which one? Which gadget?
Watch it. This one.
Okay, there's a bunch of them.
The reverse for the touchdown. Watch the 2 linebackers, though, highlighting Jalen Smith and Joe Thomas, top of the screen. They actually see the reverse with their eyes. They see Odell Beckham. Now I need you to make a play. Neither of those linebackers are going to be blocked. The first one you're going to see, Joe Thomas, you're unblocked. Go be a hero. Go make a play. Go do something. Did you just block yourself? Now at the bottom of the screen, Jalen Smith, why are you walking? Why are you walking?
Oh, get that.
You're in a foot race with Odell, and you're not going to win that. And now you've got Odell Beckham swagging on you. Marcellus.
Yes, sir.
Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. The problem is the Cowboys are limited talent-wise, and they are even more limited from a hard work perspective. The Cowboys season is, in fact, over based on their expectations because they have 3 pivotal errors. Scheme, talent, and hunger. That's their issues right now.
I just knew you were going to come up here, the pessimist you are. You know you're going to wrinkle by the age of 40. I can see it right now.
Under eye cream, Marcel. Under eye cream.
I'm talking about from hairline to eyebrow right there.
They got me. Botox.
Yeah, well, it works, but you're going to need it because you're a pessimist.
I am.
You talk about expectations and you talk about championships. The Cowboys season is not over because they can still win the first championship that every team signs up to winning. What is that, Acho? You've been in the room before. Divisional championship.
Fair.
Can you win your division? Once you win your division, you know what the NFL says to you? We're going to put you in the playoffs. No questions answered. Even if that's an 8-8 record. Even if it's in the NFC least, 7-9 record. So the Cowboys are still in the hunt. You are half a game back from a team that you get to see twice going forward. Guess what? You're not out of it. So for anyone who say the sky is falling because of the Cowboys right now being behind the Philadelphia Eagles, don't know football. Now, let me bring it to my expertise, which is my experience.
I'm waiting.
You're looking at a guy, an optimist, who has been there before. Golly, I was on a team one time where we were 0-1. Then we were like, no, we're going to get this right. 0-2. And then talking heads with scrunchy little faces and tight little foreheads like you were going out there and saying, if that team loses another game, the season's over. We lost that game. We were 0-3. And now I'm sitting there like, damn, all the talking heads are telling us it's over. We looked up, we were 10-6 in that same year. Not saying that the Cowboys will be 10-6, but I understand who is leading the Cowboys. Do you know who's leading the Cowboys? You said his name, Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy. Let's go back in the annals since when I played, it was dusty and black and white television. Let's go when Mike McCarthy first became a head coach. 2006, what happened? He inherited a 4-12 ball club.
Correct.
You know what he did that first year? He went 8-8. You know what he did that next year? Went to the NFC Championship game. My point is, this season's not over because of record, it's not over because of schedule, and it's not over because of leadership.
Marcellus, the Cowboys' entire coaching staff, and I'm glad you took me there, they're underqualified. They're underqualified, yes.
They just got there.
Great, I'm glad you made that point. I'm so glad you made that point.
I work with you well.
Great head coaches, Marcellus, they're great head coaches. Day one. Here's what I mean. Here's what I mean by that. Since 2015, and I can enlarge the sample size if you want, but I haven't since 2015. Coaches come in, if you're good, and you instantly improve the record. Please do not tell me about, oh, I need to do this, oh, I need to do that. Mike McCarthy inherited Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre.
He got Dak Prescott now.
I'm not going to digress to that, but track with me. Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur, Matt Nagy, Bruce Arians. These are all coaches that took their teams and instantly got better. Now, teams that have gotten worse. Chip Kelly, Matt Patricia, Vance Joseph, Hugh Jackson. These are teams that coaches that took their teams and they instantly got worse. Now, let's just talk about this year. Matt Rule got the Panthers sitting at 2-2, baby. They look good. Kevin Stefanski got the Browns sitting at 3-1. Mike McCarthy has the Cowboys at 1-3. I said this yesterday on Twitter, but everybody who watches the show ain't on Twitter, so track with me. Mike Nolan is the Cowboys defensive coordinator. The last time he was a defensive coordinator in the National Football League, 2014. He was a DC for the Falcons for 3 years.
I heard you.
They ranked 26th in defense, 27th in defense,
That's worse.
32nd in defense,
Can't get worse than
last,
that.
and got fired. Why is Mike Nolan the defensive coordinator for the Cowboys, then, do you ask? Because in 2005, he hired Mike McCarthy to be his OC when Mike Nolan was a head coach. The Cowboys' offensive staff, the Cowboys' defensive staff, they are underqualified. If I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm livid. Because Jerry Jones, I've entrusted you to make the right decisions. Mike McCarthy, we've entrusted you to make the right decisions, and you're not. You're hiring dudes that are underqualified, but they scratched your back once upon a time, so now you're sitting here rubbing theirs.
Oh, wow. That was deep. That was your cornyism. Is that how you like to do it all the time? Oh, you're looking out for your friends and all that, even though that happens everywhere, even at the top. Patriots, Bill Belichick's son is on staff. I don't know how
He's not running a defense.
I don't.
Nor is he running the offense.
No one is running this defense.
Mike Nolan.
Except the Cleveland Browns rushing attack is running this defense. How the hell you give up 307 yards and the best running back got hurt early? That is tough to swallow. But you don't know what's interesting when you give up all your statistical data. And I noticed something about you. You love statistical fallacies. You commit one of the criminal acts of giving stats, which is omission. You omit things, and then you say, look at this right here. And I'm like, if you just look to the left, you can see it all. Here's the point. The Dallas Cowboys, despite them getting more attention than the dynastic Patriots, have not had the same level of expectations as the New England Patriots. But we talk about them a lot more. We're talking about them right now in the A block. So here's the thing about the Dallas Cowboys. You need to understand, maybe because you're from Dallas, you're so far in the forest, you can't see the trees. The Dallas Cowboys have not been to the playoffs in consecutive years since when, Acho? 2006, 2007. Why do I bring that up? Because if you now hire Mike McCarthy to fix a situation, one, you got to give him time, and two, you got to realistically understand what that situation is. This is not a team that every year they're in the playoffs and all of a sudden, we're 1-3, what shall we do? This is a team that usually, if they're in the playoffs, they're not the next year. Please be realistic, brother.
The Cowboys have gotten worse. That's my problem.
How they get worse?
But because they don't even play complimentary football.
Oh, now you get into my lane.
Let me talk to you about this point. They've actually gotten worse. The first point is very simple. Mike McCarthy, you know your defense is terrible. Why do you know your defense is terrible? Because I know your defense is terrible. Because Marcellus knows your defense is terrible. Because the whole free world knows your defense is terrible. So Mike McCarthy, protect them.
Okay.
What do I mean? The Packers defense actually is worse than the Cowboys defense. How are they worse, Sacha? Packers defense gives up 6.6 yards per play. Cowboys defense only gives up 6 yards per play. So then how come the Cowboys defense looks worse? Because we see them more often. Packers defense time of possession. Packers possess the ball on average 36 minutes a game. Opponents 24. But the Cowboys only possess the ball 26 minutes a game. Opponents 34. Why am I bringing up these statistics?
Please tell me
Not
why.
to get you lost in the weeds, but to say this. Head coach for the Packers says, man, our defense is bad, but our offense is good, so we're going to hold on to the ball and protect them. Head coach for the Cowboys says, man, our defense is bad, but our offense is good. Let's get into a shootout. Play complementary football. Mike McCarthy is exposing his biggest vulnerability, which is his defense. So my problem is very simple, Marcellus. The Cowboys' issues won't be fixed because their head coach can't fix them. And in my last lap, we got to talk about the Cowboys' pride issues. We got to talk about the fact that they got about 3 to 4 defenders stealing. Just straight stealing. Bank robbery, just straight up stealing.
Well, this ain't our only block about the Cowboys, and you certainly know I will go there in terms of stealing because I am a culprit of stealing. I know what a thief looks like, and I've been a Dallas Cowboys thief before, and I'm noticing I'm not alone looking at this defense this year. But what you're talking about them regressing, I will admit, Why are they regressing? Because of the contract signed by some of these players that are not living up to the name.
Absolutely.
Now, the regression is interesting because usually you get a balance, at least a counterbalance of the greatness of Dak Prescott in terms of production, in terms of yards, in terms of what he's doing historically. And then you get a defense like that. So when you walk out on the field, and you've been there before, we meet offensive meeting room, defensive meeting room. And there are weeks when you're like, hey, y'all got to put them up this week. We got hell. We know what we're facing. If you go out there as Dak Prescott and say, hey, defense, Jalen Smith, whoever, how many points we need this week to win? And he says, over 49. Guess what you're going to say as an offensive player? There's no damn way we're going to win this game. The reason the Dallas Cowboys are in this situation is because guys, not coaching, not leadership necessarily from on the sidelines, guys are just not playing up to their game. You cannot make that a coaching issue in 4 weeks of football when those guys sign contracts to be better than this.
I think it's twofold. I think you can and you can't. I think we're both a little bit right. And most sports shows aren't going to tell you that because they won't concede defeat at times. You are correct in that it is a player's responsibility to go out there and play hard.
Damn right.
I'm paying you, go out there and play hard.
Show me that.
But I also believe that players are a reflection of their coach. So if you have an issue that is around 8, 9, 10 of your 11 players are committing the same sin, then my coach used to tell me this. You're either coaching it or you're letting it happen.
Yeah, that's real.
You're either coaching it or you are letting it happen.
I heard that.
The Cowboys defense is either coaching a lackadaisical effort or they're allowing lackadaisical effort. The Cowboys offense, you are either coaching turnovers and bad ball security or you are allowing turnovers and bad ball security. Either way, it's on your watch. But let me get to my final point for this lap. Pride. The Cowboys, dude, as soon as they cash in, Marcellus, they check out. As soon as they cash in, they check out.
Names and numbers.
Marcus Lawrence, he was a beast. Led the NFC in sacks 2017. I wonder why. It was his 4th year in the league. He was playing for a big contract. He gave y'all 14.5 sacks. He led the NFC.
Yeah.
Next year, he gets franchise tagged. He got a little bit of money, but he ain't really cashed in just yet, Marcellus. So now he has 10.5 sacks. Oh, he's about to cash in. 2019, he cashes in. 5 sacks. And now, Marcellus, of all the defensive linemen in the NFL, DeMarcus Lawrence has no pressures and no sacks of all the highest paid players through 4 games. DeMarcus Lawrence, you got paid. You cashed in, but then you checked out. Zeke, you cashed in, but then you checked out. Until these Cowboys players that have commanded top dollar start balling like top performers, they have issues. And I don't see it getting fixed no time soon.
And all that said, first of all, thanks for now this week allowing me to teach you about Ezekiel Elliott's regression. Damn, Zeke got old fast. Faster than he was when he was fast is as fast as he's regressed right now. 9 giveaways in 3 weeks. -8 on the turnover differential. Most giveaways in the NFL. Most giveaways in the first half. Worst starting field position and second worst starting field position differential. And there's still half a game for first place. I say all of that to say it's not doomsday. You can fix some of these things. You can leapfrog the Philadelphia Eagles, 1, because you get to play them twice, but 2, their schedule is much more hell to pay than what the Dallas Cowboys are facing. Season's not over, big dog, even though the signs are pointing downward for the Cowboys.